What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, this video is a continuation of the series of videos I've been releasing, and that's asking the question, how many games will this NBA team win this season? And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the Houston Rockets. Now, the Rockets are basically in a situation where they are another one of the NBA's team who are rebuilding, and over the last two seasons they've won a combined 37 games. So that's 17 and 20 last year. So they went 20 and 62 last year, and of course missed the playoffs, became a lottery team. That was Coach Silas going into his second season. Their top most productive player, in my opinion, was Christian Wood, who looked really good during the early parts of the season, but then because he had an injury, his season was kind of derailed, so to speak. So ultimately in the offseason they ended up dealing Christian Wood, sending him to Dallas. And when I look at the Houston Rockets roster, it's not a team that I can honestly say are going to be any better than they were a year ago. You know, even with them drafting Jabari Smith, having Kevin Porter Jr. to go with Jalen Green, I just can't look at this roster up and down and honestly say that this team is going to be one. I mean, they are pros. Let's not get that mistaken or get that wrong. They are pros. So I'm not going to say they are not going to be competitive. But when I think of the landscape of the Western Conference, when I think of the landscape of the NBA, I just can't see a scenario where the Houston Rockets are one of those teams that you can hang your hat on and say, well, we know where they're going to be at in April, May, and June. I mean, ultimately, we do know where they're going to be at, but I don't want to speak that into existence. You know, they were in Cancun relatively early this past season, but ultimately, they do have something to be excited for. The fans of Houston definitely have something to be excited and come out for. I loved watching Jabari Smith at Auburn. I mean, he has probably one of the better polished, offensive games as far as what he did in college. Of course, a lot of people think he lacks a little and looks a little out of place on defense sometimes, but he does have the length. Of course, when it comes to strength and the NBA game, you're going to be facing players that are definitely more physical. So I'm hoping he, puts on the muscle that needs to be and gets physically stronger as needed. Kevin Porter, he's coming into his own as he shown in the past few seasons, especially going from Cleveland and basically them shipping him away because of Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. And we know how the scenario is going in Cleveland now. They do have the guy that they want. But ultimately, when I look at Porter Jr. and I look at the things he's capable of, he reminds me of a hybrid guard between, I'm not going to say too much James Harden, but he reminds me a little of James. He reminds me of a similar game to D Wade almost. We know he can get anywhere he want on the court. He has the ability to affect games positively. And ultimately, I think another one is Jalen Green. I think that the three between Green, Porter, and Smith could be something really special if the Rockets build on it properly. It's going to take a lot of bumps, a lot of bruises for them to go through this season, but ultimately they should just build together, and have them build something special. Also with Şengün, I like Şengün. I think he's a good addition. So they have four pieces to lean on. Couple that with, some savvy vets, few more role guys, and maybe, I'm not gonna say bring a superstar in, but maybe bring some guys along to show them how to win games the right way. And we could be talking about something with the Houston Rockets in a few years down the line. Right now, I don't think, they're going to be one of the teams that you watch out for as far as wins. I think it's going to be more predicated amongst the fact that when they do play, how do you see them play together? Are they playing the right way? Cutting, slashing, setting screens, opportunities for others and things like that. And that's what makes a real good team, is like sacrificing. Yeah, we know that you averaged 25 with your last team, but now we have many more pieces. We might need you to take less shots tonight. But when we need you to get that 25, 30, 35, unleash, turn up. So we will see how the Rockets ultimately pan out as far as their season is concerned, as far as, what roster changes they make. Do they trade Eric Gordon or keep him? That is yet to be determined. Of course, that was some things that was talked about during the off season. But again, I only see the Houston Rockets ultimately coming up with the same amount of wins they had this past season. I see them ultimately winning, because I like the welcome addition of Jabari Smith. I'm going to say 25 games is going to be the mark that I say that the Houston Rockets are going to stick out with this season. I don't see them doing anything past that. Maybe I could be right. Maybe I could be wrong, but I ultimately see the Houston Rockets missing the playoffs again this year. And that's fine, because your young core has to grow and come together. Sacrifices, learning guys' spots, learning where guys like the basketball at, and things like that, of that nature. Because when you look at younger teams, when you look at teams that don't have that chemistry, it's a rocky road in the beginning of the season, to say the least. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys see the Houston Rockets winning more or less games? Do you guys see Silas making it through the season? Do you guys see, Jabari Smith possibly being a Rookie of the Year candidate? Do you guys see the three of Smith, Porter, and Jalen Green doing some special things this season and in upcoming seasons together? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in, listening, watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. As always, this is Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.